I destroyed my marriage with 2 words. I'm sorry. Those same 2 words that were supposed to fix everything actually made things worse. And for 15 years, I had no idea why my apologies kept failing until one argument changed everything. My wife looked at me with tears in her eyes and said something I'll never forget. She said, "I don't want to hear sorry anymore. I want to know you understand what you did." That moment shattered everything I thought I knew about apologies. It turns out, most of us are apologizing completely wrong. Here's what nobody tells you about apologies. The words "I'm sorry" are just the beginning. They're not the apology itself. They're more like the doorbell you ring before entering someone's house. The real apology happens after those words, and that's where most relationships fall apart. Let me take you back to year 5 of my marriage. I forgot our anniversary. Classic mistake, right? I came home, realized what day it was, and immediately said "I'm sorry." I thought that was enough. My wife nodded, said it's okay, and we moved on. Except we didn't really move on. What I didn't realize was that my apology was empty. It was automatic. It was the relationship equivalent of saying "bless you" when someone sneezes. No thought, no meaning, just words filling space. And my wife felt it. She felt the emptiness behind those words even if she couldn't articulate it at the time. Fast forward 10 years. Same pattern, different mistakes. I'd apologize, she'd accept, but the distance between us kept growing. We were polite strangers living in the same house. Our apologies had become transactional. I say sorry, you say it's okay, we pretend nothing happened. This cycle was killing us slowly. Then came the turning point. I made a promise to attend my daughter's school play. Work got busy. I missed it completely. When I got home that night, I started with my usual "I'm sorry." That's when my wife stopped me cold. She asked me a question that changed everything. "Do you even know what you're apologizing for?" I stammered. "I missed the play." She shook her head. "No," she said. "You broke a promise to your daughter. You chose work over family again. You made her feel unimportant. You showed her that your job matters more than she does." Each word hit me like a punch to the gut because she was absolutely right. That's when I learned the first rule of real apologies. You have to name the specific harm you caused. Not just the action, but the impact. Not just "I forgot, but I made you feel forgotten." Not just "I was late, but I wasted your time and showed disrespect for your schedule." The difference is massive. Most people apologize for what they did. Wealthy relationships apologize for how it made the other person feel. This distinction saved my marriage. When you acknowledge the emotional impact of your actions, you're telling the other person, "I see you. I understand your pain. I recognize that my choices affected your heart, not just your schedule." But here's where it gets deeper. A real apology requires vulnerability. You have to admit you were wrong without excuses, without buts, without defending yourself. This is incredibly hard. Our egos hate it. We want to explain why we did what we did. We want to make sure they understand our side. But that's not an apology. That's a defense. I learned this the hard way. Every time I said "I'm sorry but," I was erasing the apology. The word "but" is an eraser. Everything before it gets deleted. "I'm sorry but I was stressed" means I'm not really sorry. "I'm sorry but you" also means I'm keeping score. Real apologies have no buts attached. Let me tell you about the anatomy of a healing apology. It has 5 essential parts, and you need all 5 for it to work. Miss even one, and you're building on sand. These 5 parts took me 20 years to figure out, but they transformed every relationship in my life. Part 1 is acknowledgement. You clearly state what you did wrong. Not vague, not minimizing, not sugarcoating. I yelled at you. I broke my promise. I lied. Specific, clear, owned. No passive voice like mistakes were made. You made them. Own them. Part 2 is impact recognition. This is where you demonstrate that you understand how your actions affected the other person. You felt hurt. You felt disrespected. You felt alone. This part requires empathy. You have to step into their shoes and feel what they felt. If you can't do this, your apology will fail. Part 3 is genuine remorse. This isn't just saying I feel bad. It's showing that you truly regret causing pain. Your tone matters here. Your body language matters. People can sense when remorse is real versus performed. If you're just going through the motions, they'll know. And they'll remember. Part 4 is the part most people skip. It's taking responsibility without excuses. No justifications. No explanations. No context that makes you look better. Just pure ownership. I did this. It was wrong. Irresponsible. This is terrifying because it makes you completely vulnerable. But that vulnerability is what creates trust. Part 5 is the commitment to change. This is where you explain specifically what you'll do differently. Not vague promises like "I'll try harder." Concrete actions. I'll set phone reminders for important dates. I'll leave work by 6 on Tuesdays. I'll check in with you before making plans. Specificity shows you've actually thought about how to prevent this from happening again. Now here's what most people get wrong. They think the apology is the end. It's not. It's the beginning. The real test comes in the days and weeks after. Do your actions match your words? Do you actually change? Or do you go right back to the same patterns? My wife taught me something profound about this. She said apologies are promises. When you apologize, you're promising to do better. If you break that promise, your next apology means less. And the one after that means even less. Eventually, your apologies become worthless. You've cried wolf too many times. This is why some relationships reach a point where apologies don't work anymore. It's not that the hurt is too deep. It's that the apology currency has been devalued. You've apologized for the same thing so many times that the words have lost all meaning. You're bankrupt in the trust economy. So how do you rebuild that trust? Slowly. Painfully. Through consistent action over time. Words are cheap. Behavior is expensive. You have to invest in changed behavior day after day, week after week, until the other person can see that this time is different. There are no shortcuts here. Let me share a mistake I see everywhere. The demand for immediate forgiveness. Someone apologizes and then gets upset when the other person doesn't instantly say it's okay. But here's the truth. Forgiveness isn't a light switch. You can't demand it. You can't rush it. You can only earn it through time and changed behavior. When I finally learned to apologize properly, I also learned to give my wife space to process it. Apologize, take full responsibility, commit to change, and then step back. No pressure. No expectations. No checking in every hour asking, "Are we okay now?" I had to sit in the discomfort of uncertainty while she healed at her own pace. This brings me to another critical point. Some apologies need to be repeated. Not because you did the same thing again, but because one apology isn't enough for deep hurts. Major betrayals, long-term patterns, significant pain. These require ongoing acknowledgement. You might need to apologize multiple times as your partner processes different layers of the hurt. But here's the key. Each repeated apology should add something new. New understanding. New insight into the impact. New commitment to change. If you're just repeating the same words, you're not helping. You're showing you haven't actually done the work to understand the full scope of what you did. Now let's talk about the apologies that damage relationships. The non-apology apology. I'm sorry you feel that way. This isn't an apology. It's a dismissal. You're not taking responsibility for your actions. You're making their feelings the problem. This creates more distance, not less. Another toxic apology is the comparative apology. I'm sorry, but you did this too. Or at least I'm not as bad as so-and-so. This is keeping score. This is deflecting. This destroys trust faster than no apology at all because it shows you are more interested in winning than healing. Then Therese, the minimizing apology. I'm sorry if I upset you. That if is doing a lot of damage. It suggests maybe you weren't actually hurt. Maybe you're overreacting. It invalidates their experience while pretending to apologize. People feel this manipulation even if they can't name it. The performative apology is another relationship killer. This is when someone apologizes publicly or dramatically but doesn't actually change. It's all show. Grand gestures. Flowers. Cards. Promises. But the behavior stays the same. This teaches the other person that your apologies are just theater. Just performance art with no substance. Here's something that took me years to understand. Sometimes the best apology is silence. Not the silent treatment. Not stonewalling. But the silence of listening. When someone is hurt, they need to be heard more than they need to hear sorry. They need space to express their pain without you interrupting to defend yourself or explain or apologize. I learned to sit with my wife's anger without trying to fix it immediately. To let her express her hurt fully before I said anything. This was excruciating. Every fiber of my being wanted to jump in, to explain, to apologize, to make it better right now. But healing doesn't work on my timeline. It works on hers. After 30 years, I've learned that apologies are like surgery. They have to cut deep enough to reach the infection. Surface-level apologies are like putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. They might hide the damage temporarily, but they don't heal anything. Real apologies are painful. They require you to look at the worst parts of yourself and own them completely. But here's the beautiful part. When you learn to apologize properly, something magical happens. Your relationships transform. Not just with your spouse, but with everyone. Your kids learn what accountability looks like. Your friends trust you more deeply. Your coworkers respect you. Because real apologies are rare. Most people never learn this skill. The final lesson I'll share is this. The goal of an apology isn't to make you feel better. It's to help the other person heal. If you're apologizing to relieve your own guilt, to get things back to normal quickly, to avoid consequences, your apology will fail. The only apologies that work are the ones focused entirely on the other person's pain and healing. 30 years of marriage taught me that love isn't about never hurting each other. That's impossible. Love is about how you handle the hurt when it happens. It's about whether you have the courage to look at your mistakes without flinching. Whether you can sit in the discomfort of being wrong. Whether you can prioritize healing over your ego. Today, when I apologize to my wife, it sounds completely different than it did 25 years ago. I name the specific harm. I acknowledge the emotional impact. I express genuine remorse. I take full responsibility. I commit to specific changes. And then I follow through. Every single time. Because I learned that apologies aren't about words. They're about integrity. They're about showing up differently tomorrow than you did today. That's what heals. That's what saves relationships. That's what builds love that lasts.